It has been perhaps the single most life-changing world event for me in my little world, in my existence, because, you know, obviously I have blood ties there. I've never been to Syria, but because my father wasn't able to travel back there for my whole childhood, because of the way that he left. It's been interesting because I started to advocate in whatever way I could for the Syrian people as they've had to endure this violent conflict that has a lot of civilian casualties, a lot. And displacement is, I think 4.5 million Syrians are actually displaced from their homes, and I think it's above 2 million are actually out of the country right now. It's kind of a crazy situation. And so I've started to try to use my little platform, such as it is, for the deliverance and the aid, you know, of the Syrian population. And when I started to use my voice in that way, I was kind of astonished at the reactions of a lot of Christians here. I grew up not experiencing a lot of racism because I'm white-skinned. And all of a sudden, it all started coming out, you know, when people realized, oh, that's not your married name, that's your real name, and you're half Syrian, and you are, you know, advocating for Syrians. So it's been really interesting. So I would say it's affected me and my, you know, personally, in the sense that I have had to come to grips with the fact that a lot of people don't feel the same way I do about the situation. And it's made my music, the stuff I'm writing right now is very focused on preferring the poor and uplifting the poor, and you know, serving the refugee and looking at them as if you were seeing Christ. And I think I have a renewed sense of commitment to not only having a faith life, but a life of preference for those people. And so my music is definitely starting to reflect that in its themes, and just really praying the Beatitudes a lot right now, because I get very discouraged at times with the Christian response to the situation, but I can't, you know, let that hold me back. Good morning. How are you doing? We've been singing a lot about the faithfulness of God this morning, His provision, His providence, His care and concern for each of His people and everyone in this whole world. And I know that I really struggle, and this is very truthful, I struggle to believe these things. Even as I'm up here praying them, I'm asking for the faith to believe, for the eyes to see and the ears to hear, that God is truly good, that God's promises are true, that He is providing for me even now, that His faithfulness is great. And so I want to sing a prayer today of petition for faith, for the eyes to see. You know, God told Moses to speak to a rock and a river would pour forth from it. And in his doubt, he struck the rock with a rod instead of just speaking to it the way he was asked. So I'm thinking about that rock like my heart, you know. And the river of life is flowing out of me, but I don't often have the eyes to see that or the faith to believe that. I kind of came to a point a while back where I was sort of like, I can't really continue to be a Christian if I'm not, you know, living in an upside-down kingdom the way that Jesus sort of talked about, where the poor, you know, are preferred and the last shall be first, and, you know, where the people that are often considered to be sort of less desirable are the most beautiful, and they're blessed because they're basically left behind by all these people on earth. And I just couldn't, you know, I grew up in a country where to be Christian was to be in power. What I do feel a lot of times is frustration with the expectations that are put on me because I'm talented. Because I'm like, okay, I have talent. I'm a songwriter. It doesn't mean that I'm somehow so much more settled than everyone else, and I somehow understand that, you know, I have it all together and I don't question the stuff and struggle with it. I really do. I wrestle with a lot of things that Catholic America does not expect me to wrestle with publicly, but I do it because I do it publicly because I feel I need to shatter this idea that because I'm an artist, I'm supposed to be your pastor. I'm not. I'm just out here, living my life and expressing through music the deep battle that I fight interiorly, just like everyone else would.